All right. Well, real quick, as we finish up, let's do a just for fun segment on SEC superlatives. And these are some interesting categories here. We got the first one is most popular. Jesse, we're going with teams here. Who do you got
Oh,
for
teams.
yeah, teams, not individuals. We're going with teams. Most popular. Who do you think? Who do you got?
Ooh, I mean, I'm gonna say, ooh, I, mm, mm,
It is a tough choice. There's a lot of options.
well, and I'm oscillating between two, but I'm going to say Georgia because I feel like in recent years there's been a lot of bandwagon Georgia fans. Um,
Hmm.
and so I'm gonna go with that one. And because I think a lot of people just hate Bama, so I'm gonna go with Georgia.
You're saying Georgia because people hate Bama?
Yeah, because there's so many bandwagon fans at Georgia now, and they all hate Bama. So I'm just gonna.
I got you. Matt?
I'm gonna go with Georgia here too. I feel like we're in the post Saban era now. It's kind of akin to the Cold War ending. Once the Cold War was over, who was the only superpower left on the block? And that was the United States. Go America! And I just feel like Georgia is the lone superpower that's left standing. And I feel like every bandwagon person on the planet is about to start going and wearing red and black and start barking at small children. I think that's coming. Will be it, but that's my pick. It's Georgia.
Okay. And to your point there, the question is how much did just going up against an opponent like Saban make Kirby a better coach? And who could say really at the end of the day because we'll never really know because you can't quantify that. But yeah, it's an interesting dynamic for sure. I'm going with Mizzou because they created a lot of buzz this
Mm.
season. Obviously, it wasn't expected. They finished really well and had some really good games doing it. Next, most non-conforming. Jesse, who do you have for the non-conforming that
I've
do
got
not conform?
two. This is like a tie. I'm
Okay.
gonna go with Vanderbilt because they're just not gonna win football. They've just decided to be okay with that.
I'm not
They're
doing
not
it.
going to win
I'm not
much.
going to win
They're
a
not going
game.
to
Not
win
gonna
much
do
of
it.
anything. They're not
Yeah,
winning in basketball or baseball either.
they're just
Oh
like,
man.
nope,
And
not gonna
baseball
do it.
was their thing. It's
Hmm
yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Basketball
also
was for a
gonna go
while
with
too.
Florida
Okay.
Ooh.
because Florida was like, yeah, we remember winning. We're not gonna do that anymore. It's too mainstream. It's too mainstream.
Florida's a hipster now. I kind of like
Florida has
that.
become vegan, and they're gonna tell you about it.
Oh gosh. Matt, most non-conforming.
I'm gonna go with LSU.
Okay.
Because based on what we saw at LSU this season, it was the tried but true all we need is offense theory of coaching a football team, and I feel like that's very nonconformist. So I'm gonna go with LSU.
Okay. Jesse, I too am going with your first option of Vanderbilt because as the most non-conforming, because they decided that you do not need a consistent quarterback to win, which is ironic because all of them left. So
Literally.
um, it
You
is
don't even
what
need
it
a
is.
stadium. It's fine.
Yeah. Just like scoreboard flapping in the wind. Who cares? Whatever.
Mm.
Um, all right. Most humorous. Jesse, who you got for most humorous?
Oh. Lane is an obvious choice because he is intentionally funny,
Yes.
but I'm gonna go with Drinkowitz because he's not
Not.
intentional.
Stands
You
on
think
business.
you're laughing with him, but you're actually laughing at him. So I don't
We're
know if
standing on
that
business,
counts.
Josh.
But yeah.
Jackass.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
mom.
Matt.
If I would also probably say Lane because Lane's a never-ending source of laughs. The other team that kind of came to mind was South Carolina because after that fall from grace from the end of last season, I mean, heck, I had South Carolina as a dark horse to win the SEC East this year, and I could not have been any more wrong than I was. And just the debacle that South Carolina football's turned into, I feel like that's probably the most humorous. Plus, as a Tennessee fan and them ruining our season last year and hurting our quarterback, it gives me a little bit of joy watching them flounder. but
Matt is
I don't.
never gonna let that go. He's gonna
Nope,
talk about that for
never will.
years to come.
Never will. Listen, there are a couple things I will never ever let go. I will never let go of the fact that South Carolina is dirty and awful and just terrible people. Darius Rucker can go straight to you nowhere. And third off, the Heisman is a
Heisman.
useless medal.
Yep, I knew the
So
Heisman was in there.
those are three takes I will never take off the table.
Yeah, I really like a lot of the reels that South Carolina media team put out. Any Office reference is gold for me. I
Very
would put that as most humorous. But as far as comedy on the field, maybe A&M, because
good.
that was just a
Ooh.
curious that
That
was just a
was that was
circus.
a clown show this year.
That's funny because I have in my note here, it was a circus out there this year for A&M. So
Definitely was.
um, yeah. All right, next, most attractive. Jesse, who wins most attractive?
Oh my God, that's so hard.
Isn't it?
Um,
It's a weird one, but it's funny.
it's
And also very, very mean if we were talking about like superlatives in like the high school sense.
Oh, we had it in my high school.
Yeah.
I still remember who won. Yeah, this one's tough. Come back to me. Matt, go first.
Yeah.
I would probably say Ole Miss because after the season they've had this season, plus with the way they've worked the transfer portal over, plus the way their offenses looked, I just feel like that's probably the prettiest team that's out there.
Okay,
Ooh,
I've got
yeah.
one.
Go ahead.
Okay, I've got one. I don't know if it counts, but I'm gonna stick with it anyways. And it kind of makes me want to throw up when I say it. But I'm gonna say Texas because Texas is like the new
Oh,
girl.
they're not in the SEC yet. We can't claim
Matt,
them
I knew
yet. We can't do
Actually,
that.
they're
We
SEC
can't do
light.
that.
They're
it's
SEC light.
2024. They
The season
technically,
hasn't started yet. When we get to media days, then we can claim them.
but they're like the really pretty girl from another school that is like all of a sudden transferring to your school.
Oh, that's
Oh,
fair. Okay.
oh,
Yeah, but just
oh
wait till you
no.
get to know her. So
Exactly. And it's
we'll
just,
see.
and it's like, oh, this sucks. And you want to hate her, but she might be nice. So you don't
Right.
know, but like she's got her eyes on your prom date.
Yeah. Texas and Oklahoma, there's going to be two of those where everybody's kind of watching like, and we'll see. We'll
I
keep
am
our eye
very
on those.
curious to see how they mesh next year with the conference because you play the Big 12. That's the Big 12. It's a different
Yeah.
ball game down here, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is I don't know. I like the Ole Miss one. I was gonna go with Georgia just because they looked the part for a lot of this year. It's especially kind of when it counted in a lot of the regular season games. Obviously, the last one game in the ACC championship, not so much. That was a tough one in most respects, but I was just trying to think of eye test looking the part in the regular season. Um, next, most likely to succeed. What do you got, Jesse?
I'm gonna say Ole Miss because I already put them in my top 5 for next year.
That's fair. Matt?
I'm going to deviate a little bit. I'm going to be a bit of a homer here. I'm going to say Tennessee, only because I feel like this year was a little bit of a letdown. I mean, 8 wins is still really good, and no one's complaining about. At least I'm not complaining about it. But I just feel like if things keep progressing like we think they might, plus coming off the big bowl win against Iowa, it looked pretty good against a very good defense that Iowa has. I feel like Tennessee's primed in a spot where if Nico and that wide receiver core and that offensive line can kind of haul the mail, Tennessee's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I was gonna say Ole Miss, like you said, it's their first 11 win season in program history, and then all those transfer portal victories everywhere you look. So that was a good
You,
one for sure.
you, you say that with such derision in your voice there, Wes.
Yeah, it's rough, but you got to respect it. Um, all right, and then let's end on a funny one. Most likely to get arrested. Jesse, who do you got?
Auburn, look at their head coach.
Wow,
Oh,
she didn't even hesitate. She
no
didn't have to
hesitation.
think about it.
Matt,
I, you know who I'm going to say.
I know who you're gonna say because I see it right
So
there.
who am I going to say, Wes?
You're gonna say UGA. Please elaborate.
Well, you know why I'm saying UGA, right?
I don't.
Because I don't know who's giving all these kids and these coaches keys to cars. They can't drive them to save their lives. They're driving faster than all get out, driving them drunk. It's mass chaos in Athens. Kirby needs to get himself together. Some of the stories that you get out of Athens, I feel like I'm looking at Fulmer in like '96. Like I feel
Uh,
like it's Tennessee mid '90s, just ridiculous stuff.
yeah.
Ridiculous stuff.
Fun Athens fact. When I was in college as a sophomore, I believe, one of my best friends from college went to go visit her best friend in Athens for New Year's, obviously underage. She took a gift card. I believe it was like an American Eagle gift card, and printed on regular paper an ID and stapled it to the gift card and
That's good
got let
enough.
into every single bar in Athens.
I mean, also when you consider
Uh,
the fact that how many are there, it doesn't surprise me though. Yeah. Yeah, it does not surprise me. Most likely to get arrested. If I can't pick out of conference, I won't go with Michigan. We were all thinking it. I guess I'll go with Kentucky because it was criminal how much they underwhelmed this season. I think we all kind of had high expectations and it just
we
didn't,
did. We
it
did.
never got there. So, um, yeah. All right. Well, that was fun.